This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast for Monday, March 7th. The kickoff of Random Acts of Kindness, officially called Violence Awareness and Random Acts of Kindness. We'll run through the schedule, get you set ready for Blue Ribbon of Hope Day. Things going on tonight at the Quinte Mall. Also, fabulous weekend down in the county for March Maple Madness.
A record-setting day yesterday.
Holy smokes.
You wouldn't know it today.
No.
Because buses were canceled, ice pellets were in the forecast, flurries, blah, blah, blah. But yesterday, oh my goodness. So the temperature yesterday, according to the base, so CFB Trenton recorded 14.5 degrees.
Okay.
I would say it was even warmer
Yeah,
than that.
my phone said 15
Yes.
at one point.
The previous record was 13.4 in 2009.
Yeah.
It was sunny, it was windy, but it was sunny
It's great.
and it was beautiful. We had flooding in some areas
Yeah,
because it all
not
went so
good.
quick. Not so good. But for maple syrup producers, an incredible day yesterday. And we heard from, we spoke to Walt from Walt Sugar Shack about how well yesterday went.
Yeah, we'll talk to him later on. For first, straight off the top, though, thanks to everybody who went out to support, well, let's say it right, stand with Ukraine.
Saturday also a very good day, not just weather-wise, but the outpouring, the generosity seen by people who went down to Market Square. It was being held between 10 and 2. They wrapped up the event by singing the Ukrainian national anthem.
Wow.
They had the words posted on their Facebook page so people could sing along to it. There were flags, there were flowers, and I saw pictures before even noon on Saturday. Bags of stuff, of clothing, of bedding, of hygiene products, because these people essentially are leaving. And I heard one reporter say, in some cases, with just the clothes on their back because they thought they could go back.
Right.
They left in such a hurry, they didn't think about necessarily packing anything. They just wanted to get out thinking, well, I'll come back in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Not happening. So they have virtually nothing. And these aren't just individuals. These, of course, as we've seen, are families, young children, elderly. So there's a lot needed. So they were gathering all of this on Saturday. It's going to be shipped off to the Ukraine. But if you weren't able to make it down on Saturday, Michelle Reese of Miss Reese Vintage Beauty Parlor near Dairy Queen on Dundas Street East in Belleville volunteered to act as an ongoing drop-off location for items being donated.
Perfect.
So if you weren't able to make it on Saturday, stop by Miss Reese and you may be able to leave your donation there for them.
Sooner the better, too, so they can get those,
absolutely.
especially if you've got items, because that shipment's going to be going out from Toronto. Absolutely free, by the way.
Absolutely free.
Donating the transportation across, and as always, money through the Red Cross, greatly appreciated as the story gets bigger and bigger. And our Prime Minister's over in Britain today, and I think
I saw he met with the Queen.
Yeah, other European nations throughout the week that we... everybody's to the point where we all want something done.
Yeah.
And we all want it to be done peacefully and end this. But thank you so much for everything you did on the weekend. And Michelle, thank you for donating your spot and your time and making all of that work. Sorry, I thought you pointed.
Oh, no, I was scrubbing my nose.
What?
Sorry.
What, Charity?
No point. Sorry.
But yeah, yesterday was fabulous for all those down in the county. We keep hearing about how once you get the warm days, in with the cool nights, that's what gets the sap running. And so Walt of Walt Sugar Shack picked up the phone this morning. I don't know why.
Because he'd had 2 cups of coffee.
2 cups.
Hello.
Hey, Brian, it's Mark and Charity Mornings. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
I'm fairly certain we didn't wake you up.
No, you did. I'm on my second coffee.
Oh, good. Good to hear.
Because the sap waits for no man. Hey, was the warm weather yesterday really good?
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
That's good for it.
I mean, we had lots of sap coming in, and it went really, really well. We had an amazing amount of people out having pancakes and sausages and stuff. It was quite a weekend.
I bet. Now, has the sap been running pretty well, Brian, over the last couple of weeks? No.
Just a hit and miss a little bit. And now yesterday things finally got moving. I'm really looking forward to this week. So I guess I'm trying to be real optimistic here.
Yeah. Well, the weather, because I hear like 5-6 degrees through the day, maybe -2 overnight is about as perfect as it can get.
That's right. that's what your weatherman keeps telling me. So I'm feeling the love here, I guess.
Right.
Wonderful.
Well, yeah, we don't know if it's true. We're just going to say it and hope it happens.
Just keep our fingers crossed.
We don't need the trees getting involved in the supply chain management problem.
No.
With the maples.
No, you
going
said
on.
it was a good turnout over the weekend, Brian. Much better than last year. A good indication of good things to come.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everybody is cautious, and and we all got to respect that. And I mean, and that's what the case was just about everywhere. I talked to some of the guys last night all over the county, and it was the same kind of thing. But tremendous support out in the community, that's for sure.
Wonderful.
Brian
Now,
Walt of Walt's Sugar Shack.
now the breakfast, the pancakes, they'll continue over the next couple of weeks, correct?
Yeah, we're going to have pancakes and sausages right on through till the end of March, and there's a few other things that are going to be added too, just to keep things interesting. And I heard about some cornbread maybe as a possibility.
Whoa!
Yeah. So,
Don't tease me.
And now March break is coming up next week. Additional hours, will they be able to come during the week and visit you?
well, I guess that's kind of doing. We're kind of in the planning stages of that today, and it's going to get finalized up today. Probably we're talking about like 10 till 2 or something like that, so lots of families can come out and, the kids can run around the woods, and away they go.
Perfect.
March Maple Madness, you talked about talking to the gang around the county. Everybody's pretty well involved. There's a great website. How can people stay up to date on the changes?
Follow on our Facebook. You can follow on the Maple Madness Facebook page. You can follow on everybody else's. Everybody's been sharing it out to all their specifics, and there's signs everywhere. They just follow the yellow signs, and all the participants and everybody has got signs. As far as I know, I sure hope they do.
Absolutely. And I always love hearing, how many trees do you tap, Brian?
We've got about 1,500.
Yeah.
There's lots of the voices that do a lot more than that.
But
kind of stuff,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. 1,500 to me is pretty impressive. So
And I know that you name each and every tree.
Well, one I call Sandy White.
Yeah, we'll pay for that one. Brian Walt of Walt Sugar Shack, March Maple Madness. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
I'm sure I will get a phone call.
Check all the local Facebook pages. Just Google March Maple Madness. Find the maps and get out there, lick your fingers, and enjoy it this month.
Exactly.
wonderful.
See everybody. Okay.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks a lot, Talk to you soon. Okay.
If you haven't been out there for breakfast yet, go this weekend. What a great way to kick off the March break.
Well, and I'm
So go.
happy he said that they were going to be open on the March break because it has been just on weekends. And that's why I asked him, because I thought that would be a great trip down to the county with the kids.
And part of it is you want to make sure that the weather's good. And of course, as he mentioned, we want to be safe with the pandemic. But check all of their social media sites. Most of them, they said, have Facebook pages. That's the way
Facebook and
to go.
Instagram, yep.
Maybe not everybody's going to be running everything all the time, but as you said, over the March break, I'm sure there'll be plenty to do. And 1,500 trees sounds like a lot. Maybe not.
I think that's a lot.
In major circles of the, the major farms, but 1,500, that's a lot of tree tapping.
Well, my brother-in-law, my husband's brother, taps in the spring as well. They make maple syrup. I don't want to misstep here or misspeak, we'll say, but I want to say they tap maybe 80.
Okay.
They might have gone up to 100 last year.
Now, how much syrup does that get them?
Enough for the family. Like we all go back and help.
Right.
So we get a jar or a bottle. We get a couple of bottles. Now I know he gives some to friends too.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't say a large number. There wouldn't be a large number that
50?
would get.
50?
50 people would get a bottle?
No, 50 bottles?
Oh, yeah. I would say so.
How big? I'm trying to figure out how much syrup when you're done.
He doesn't use
100 trees.
He doesn't use normal bottles. He
So
goes
we're
with
not allowed to talk
like
about
a 40. That's what he uses. I don't know if this should go in the podcast, but I know he gives it to friends and family. So we end up with a couple of bottles. I know his parents end up with maybe 4 or 5. Yeah, maybe total 50. I really don't know. I'll have to ask him that. But he taps 100 trees, and that to me seems like a lot.
Yeah.
So when Brian says 1,500, I'm like, whoa.
It's ridiculous.
And when he's kind of downplaying it and saying he's not as large as some of the other ones, it blows my mind. Some of these maple syrup producers, how many trees? It's quite an operation when you get some places. So
and
I'm always fascinated to hear.
As we know, it's not completely, but it's uniquely Canadian.
Very much, yes.
We're famous for our maple syrup, to the fact that there was a John Candy movie where Americans came in and stole the maple syrup. That was a major crime in Canada.
Liquid gold.
Liquid gold.
Liquid gold to some.
And we love it. Like, we love our maple syrup, and I salute everybody in the county.
I think the whole process is so cool.
That's
and
what
to
I
be
think.
honest, with the kids, it's so fun to see them get involved too. And you see the interest and the amazement on their faces. And even as an adult, I'm still amazed that something sap from a tree, you boil it down and boom.
Yeah, there it is.
Here you go, on your pancakes, on some ice cream, they make candies. We had Walt's.
Walt drops.
The Walt drops.
Holy smokes.
Wow, you want to hit a sugar.
They're good.
That will do it.
2 in a row that's not right.
Oh.
I should have really thought that one through.
Delicious.
So 20 minutes later, I would have been thrown out of the Olympics. That's it. You, sir, are under the influence of something you shouldn't be.
But it is very much Canadian, and it's its own season. It's its own season in Canada. There's no question.
Yeah. So get out there and enjoy it, and check their Facebook pages. And hopefully they'll have a lot of activities next week. But weather and
Maple Madness PEC
Yeah.
is where you want to go for all of them, not just Walt Sugar Shack, but all of the participating producers and vendors over in the county.
I think it's great too. And he said, I was talking to some of them last night. They're all in it together.
Oh, they are.
It's like the wineries. We're all in it together.
When it was at its peak, when Maple Madness was happening in the county, Maple in the county, when that was going, you had a map.
Yeah.
Of all the places to go. And they'd all work together, and you'd go to one and then you'd go to the other, and where have you been? Where do you need to go? And you'd plan it all out. It was a whole weekend, if not several.
So it's getting busy again, and we're glad to see that as we kick off Random Acts of Kindness Week this week. Chris McDonald and the volunteers are going to be out tomorrow with the Kindness Cruise. They'll be dropping off some tidy goodies. Blue Ribbon of Hope Day on Wednesday. It's going to be Friendly Friday. Yeah, you do. You're very well dressed with that.
I got my ribbon on
Tonight,
today.
we'll see you at the Quinte Mall. They had to pause on that for for last year for the pandemic. It was the pandemic started just after it back in 2020 to get there and celebrate the vigil tonight.
Yes, it's going on at 7 o'clock this evening. And again, everyone is invited to do it. If you can't make it to the Quinte Mall, take a moment at 7 o'clock this evening at home. Light a candle or put a light in your window, perhaps. And a special message with the vigil this year. They want people to focus on remembering the people of Ukraine and the acts of violence they're currently experiencing, of course. So 7 o'clock, just a moment to take and remember and reflect and be aware of what's happening and trying to stop it.
VARAK, Violence Awareness Random Acts of Kindness.ca, their website. And on there you can get a link for the Kindness Member of the Year. Rita won it last year, and so her name is up on the poll in Kindness Court at the Quinte Mall. So they'll be taking nominations all week, and you need not justify why you think that person should win. And then a random draw is made because everybody in there is kind, and they don't want half the problem of saying who's the most kind.
Yeah, one over the other.
Right.
They're all kind. Yep.
So be sure and get that in, and thanks to all of the volunteers who make that work ahead of the March break. And in tomorrow's International Women's Day. There's a lot going on.
Another big day.
Yeah.
And we talked about that, all that's going on through March. And this week just gets it all rolling. You listed off a whole laundry list of things this morning. So yes, Random Acts of Kindness Week, International Women's Day, March break coming up next week, St. Patrick's Day, March Madness, first day of spring. We set the clocks ahead this weekend. Like it's
on.
That's a good way. It's on.
It's on.
It's going.
I can't work. It's too much. I got no time.
No, you can't.
Got no time for
Can't
a radio
even broadcast
show,
from home. You're
podcast.
done.
No time. So much to do. So little time. And one day yesterday, remind us that it's all going to be worth it because it's going to get warmer. Yesterday was that great reminder. I got like 3 or 4 pieces of the deck furniture out before Mrs. Philbin called me back. Stop that. Put those back. All right. For a little while, and then she was probably right. Yeah, that's right. It's way too early for that. But
it's coming.
It's coming.
It's going to be here before we know it.
It's coming. Be kind, everybody. It's Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. Link to our social media sites, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. International Women's Day coming up on the show tomorrow morning throughout the day. It's also going to be the kindest cruiser out and about. And it's a Tuesday with Jimmy Hollywood. So we'll have Take Home, Stream Home Tuesday. And your chance to win would beat the bank. It's all coming up tomorrow with Mark and Charity Mornings on 95.5 Hits FM. Enjoy your day.